Welcome to the Alterners Podcast. This is where we run long and work even longer. I'm your host, Brad, a flight nurse, paramedic, coach, and dad of three, just trying to figure this whole endurance thing out 1 mile at a time. This podcast is about running, especially running long, all while balancing work, family, and everything else that comes with real life. All right, it's Brad. We're back at the Pepperlane Studios. I am just so frustrated. My internet sucks. I am like in this weird spot where I can't get fiber in my internet's like dial-up basically still. I think I'm going to put Elon's dish on my house pretty soon. Oh, geez. Anyways, it's a good day. It's July 3rd. It sounds like Fallujah outside of my house. I hope I don't give anybody PTSD. No, it's dude, fireworks, man. I can't believe people waste that much money on them. It's so stupid. But hey, America, right? And I'm on shift tomorrow, and I'm sure I'll be hauling fingers in a bag at some point, and they'll be totally sober too. I kid. I certainly don't wish that upon anybody, but every year. So the first thing I will do, I swear to gosh, tomorrow, the first thing I will ask when I go to do shift change tomorrow, who has hand surgery on? I'm not even joking. I want to know if what trauma centers around me have hand surgery available tomorrow. Anyways, excuse me. Got a little bit of a cold. I don't know. Maybe I got like mold in my basement or something. I have no idea, but I'm stuffed up a little bit. Anyways, I don't have an outline for today. I really don't have an outline. I have certain things I want to talk about, but I was trying to do a podcast about like a day in the life as a flight nurse and paramedic, and I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I tried using an outline. I tried to revise the outline. I tried to go more into detail with the outline, and I just couldn't get through it. I was just rambling. I was jumping from point to point. I don't know. I don't know. I could talk about my job a little bit, but there's just so much to talk about. And I rambled on about how I got into the position, the training that I needed to do to get there, the steps I took to get the job. And there's just so much to talk about. And I kept going into detail. I don't know if people want to hear all that crap. I was just rambling. And it was like I recorded straight through, and it ended up being like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half long. And I couldn't even edit it. It was just a disaster. And I tried multiple times. I mean, I don't think I released a podcast, in 2 weeks here? I know everybody's probably like, I miss them so much. But no, I tried multiple times to record that. And I don't know, maybe I'll revisit that another day when I'm a little better at this. I hope I'm getting better at this. But no, I didn't think it would be that hard. I thought it would be one of the easier topics to talk about. And I really wanted to do it too, because I get asked that quite a bit, like just certain questions about my job. And I truly, anyways, disclaimer or attention. If you are my employer, please turn it, or my managers or something. Don't listen. Please don't. Actually, I love my job. I love what I do. I love who I do it for. It's a great way. I consider extremely privileged to be able to do what I do. Now, are there things I don't like about my job? Yes. There are many things I don't like about my job. There's things I wish I could change. One, can I just have a 2-piece flight suit? That's all I want in life. That's all I want in life is a 2-piece flight suit to work in. Oh, so that, like, who in their right mind was like, hey, we're going to wear these 1-piece flight suits, these onesies. I hate that about my job. I absolutely hate that about my job. They look ridiculous. And that's subjective, by the way. That's a subjective opinion there. But they do. They look stupid. They fit 1 out of every 100 person. Everybody else looks stupid, and myself included. I look absolutely dumb in a 1-piece flight suit. They are so uncomfortable. They're so hot in the summer. They're so cold in the winter. And let's go. Oh, every time you got to poop, or God forbid, thank God I'm not a woman, because every time you pee, you got to stuff them in so your arm sleeves don't fall on the floor and sweep up all the pee and pubic hair. They're just all I want with my job right now is just a two-piece flight suit, and I will pay the difference. I don't know why they're double the price of a one-piece. But my gosh, that's all I want in life. Like, I think they look so much more professional too. And even around the base when you're not flying, you could tuck your company's t-shirt in. You'll look nice and spiffy. You hang your coat up on a hook, either in the aircraft or whatever. You throw it on really quick. It takes 2 seconds. You go on the mission. No one knows you're wearing a two-piece flight suit. Like literally, and I think they look better. But I want to know, like, well, I know why we're wearing one-piece flight suits. It's because of the military, because EMS does whatever the military does, but it's just 10 years behind. Like, for real, like, a lot of the therapies that we do, the military is already doing them, and it pertains to trauma care. But yeah, that's one gripe I want to get. Oh, like, just let me. And can I just sign a waiver? Like, seriously, like, can I just wear scrubs? My gosh. Like, I don't think. I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm gonna stop talking about it. I just please, Santa Claus, I want a two-piece flight suit. Anyways, but where was I? Okay, so I really want to talk about my job because I mean, especially when I'm like running on the trails, like running with new people, right? You make that small talk. You're like, oh, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? And it's always like, I'm a flight nurse. And there's always like this misconception or whatever it is. I'm not very smart. That we're just out there like running trauma calls on highways and going to motorcycle accidents and just seeing like absurd stuff all the time. And like intubating people all the time, doing CPR, blood. It's just everything's 100 miles per hour trauma emergencies. And it's far from that. Yes, there are certain times where we do go to traumas and we are doing like gnarly shit and stuff and advanced skills like intubating people and, plowing blood in and starting pressors and doing all sorts of stuff, right? Chest tubes, you know, um, EJs or whatever. But for the most part, dude, like a lot of my job, a lot of the job in my area anyways, is taking people from one place to another, from one place that they can't manage them. And this is no knock to those facilities. These facilities in these small communities that don't have resources and taking them to large institutions that have resources, right? I always tell people my job, the way I describe my job, the way I think of what my job is I am transporting a patient from one place that can't manage them to another place that could try to manage them in no worse condition than they are. And I will immediately recognize and correct any life-threatening conditions, if that makes any sense. That's how I look at my job. My job, like as a flight nurse and paramedic, I know this is going to sound really bad. My job is not to heal anybody. No, it's not to heal anybody. Like, I know that sounds really stupid. They're going to be like, dude, you got that guy working for me. He doesn't want to heal anybody. Dude, I wish I could heal anybody, but that's not my job. That's not the job. It is not. But that's the reality though. Like 80% of, and this is what, again, I'm speaking for my company and all the companies around the area that I know of in my region, in the Midwest. Like, and I know it's different out west where there's like nothing, in the desert mountains. But like, for the most part, like the majority of my line of work is interfacility transfers. I think up to 80%. I don't know. The numbers, it's right around there usually. 70 to 80%. It's taking somebody out of a hospital that can't manage them to a level 1 or level 2. It's a lot of like flying strokes, like not head bleeds, respiratory things. I fly a lot of kids with respiratory issues. Usually they just need to go to the PICU, get a little high flow, ride it out for a couple days for the most part. A lot of medical stuff. And yes, we do get our traumas, Yes, you do go to a scene and you're like, holy crap, this is gnarly. But those are, I mean, really, it's few and far between. So like my job is not like, oh, go, 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 go. Emergency, 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 emergency. Yes, there are certain things. The stuff that I pucker about I should stop talking. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get myself in trouble. My mouth. I should not be podcasting at all. I got a mouth on me. But I never, I consider myself to be a man of integrity. And I always tell what I think is the truth, right? But the majority of my like flights, they're not a good chunk. I should say a good chunk. At least half my flights are not like what I consider like time sensitive. Like we need to go right away or they're going to die. There are some things where I'm like, we have to go now. AAAs, aortic dissections. Those things are like, we need to go this way right away. Those MIs, right? Your heart attacks, we need to go this way right now. Certain kinds of trauma, right? Most times I'm taking them from a scene, then I'm like, yeah, let's get them to the trauma center, let's go, but let's move with purpose. If I'm transferring them from another interfacility place, usually we could get them stabilized, we start administering blood, whatever. But like the big ones, AAAs, those things scare me. Those MIs, some certain, strokes, right? But like these respiratory issues, people on ventilators from, like your ICU transfers that just need to go from one ICU to a higher level ICU, if that makes any sense. I mean, we're not screaming, we're moving with purpose, but it's not like everything needs to be there. Like, rush, 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 rush. That's not the job. That's not the job. It really isn't. And I find like I've been doing it for 10 years, right? And literally the people that rush, I know this is going to sound bad. I know I said that a lot this year, but the people that suck at my job are like the ones that rush or always are rushed or are always on edge. I know that sounds terrible, but they are terrible at this job. They really are. I consider one of the best skills I have, one of the best skills I think for a flight clinician to have is the ability to walk into a room and maintain your composure and bring about a sense of calm to that room or to that scene and to take control. Everybody take a breath. I've walked into ER rooms where pretty sick pediatric patients have been in, like 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, really, really, really sick, right? And it's just chaos. I mean, it's hard not to be like that. It really is, and everyone is just trying their best, but it's very easy to get ramped up and everybody feeds off each other. I've walked into those rooms and I said, everybody needs to stop and take a deep breath and just redirect people but you got to walk in there and be like, everybody stop what they're doing right now and take a few deep breaths. I've done that. And then I tell them, we are going to intubate this kid. This is not a crash airway. All right. This is not a crash airway. Just doing stuff like that and just maintaining your composure. Where was I? See, I'm rambling off about it again. I could talk about my job all day long. But where was I? See, I'm lost again. I get lost talking about my job. I really do. But no, that's what I found is the best clinicians are that calm, cool, collected. They can think on their feet, can think on their fly. The ones I saw a reel the other day, and it was this nurse talking about, there's this thought out there that if you're a nurse in a level 1 institution, that you are the bee's knees. This is no offense to anybody that works in a level 1 institution. I know plenty of RNs and clinicians that work in those that I have the utmost respect for. But you can give me an old dirty nurse out in the middle of whole punk Iowa that has absolutely no resources whatsoever. in their institution, or I shouldn't even call it an institution, but in their clinic, hospital. I'll take one of those any, because they know what it's like to operate with nothing. Nothing. I'm going so far away from where I started this. See, this is what happened. This is what happened to that, trying to record that episode. But level ones and level twos, you have a lot of resources. You got IV teams, you have trauma teams, stroke teams, you have lab, you have people doing your EKGs. I work with this is no knock to anybody, but I've worked with flight nurses that have never done an EKG because they have people do them in level ones. So like this whole thing about like, oh, you need to work at a level 1 to be a flight nurse is freaking stupid. It's so stupid. I'll take a person, again, I'll take anybody that not anybody, but there's a lot of really good nurses that are working in these level 4 and level 3 hospitals. They know how to manage shit without anything. And that's way more important than working on a level 1. Oh, anyways. But yeah, and okay, another thing about my job, we can get busy. I've done back to back flights before, but most days it's a call. It might be 2 calls. It might be 3 calls. But it's not like you're running nonstop. There's a lot of downtime. There really is. And like, it's a terrible environment where if you aren't, what do I say, motivated, we can get a lot of bad habits at my job. You really can. You can get a lot of TV time. You can get a lot of just wasting your time. I do it sometimes. Guilty. Dude, I've been like really, really, really fascinated with World War I. So I've been watching like some documentaries about the Battle of Verdun and the Battle of the Somme and just stuff like that. Oh, God, it makes me really appreciate my life. I think that's what I like. I like stuff that makes me appreciate my life. So, anyways, but like there's a lot of downtime and you can waste a lot of your time out there watching movies, TV. Sure, it's fine. It takes the edge off. But like, I don't know. I look at that time and I try to make something out of it. I try to read up. I try to, there's not a lot of people that notice this. But I go into my mannequin room every shift. I sneak in there and I intubate the head. It's not realistic, but I do. I practice my intubations every day. Because I try to stay up on that crap. And I know the people that I work with are going to be like, he bitches and complains all the time, blah, 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 this and that. I actually do care about my job, and I try to stay sharp. For one, because you owe it to your patients. I mean, if you don't want to stay sharp and you don't have that drive, then you shouldn't be doing my job. And number 2, because I don't know, it's the way I am. If I'm in, I'm all in. That said, I don't like doing stuff anyways. But yeah, I do that every day, right? I try to read up. My emails. I do my QI stuff. I try to read it, but we get our charts audited. I try to catch up on that. I got so much training to do. I got to keep up my certified flight nurse certificate. I got to do my ACLS, my PALS, my stroke certification. I got my advanced trauma transport certifications to do, my neonatal resuscitation. And then I got to do my institutions, like their link training or whatever you call it. Then I got to do the company that owns a helicopter. I got to do all their training. So there's a lot of training to keep up on. That, and I work out on shift. On my downtime, I don't even, you know what? I don't care if you are working somewhere. Like, I'm going to go on another rant here. If you're working somewhere and they have a problem with you, like doing some type of physical activity on shift, like on your break or on your downtime, and they have a problem with that, tell them to stick it and go work somewhere else. That is so stupid. And I'm so sick of it. Like, you should get a 1-hour lunch minimum at any of these places, and you should be able to go work out. or do whatever you want. Go take a walk. The fact that every healthcare facility doesn't have a gym for their employees is crazy. Is absolutely crazy. Places of health, my ass. Go look at a cafeteria in any hospital. It's all garbage for the most part. But so back on my point about my job is every shift I try to do something physical too. I do. We have a day room or we can go outside. I could run around the building, whatever. I could Superman. Yes, I take my flight suit off when I'm working out. But guess what? I could put it on in 10 seconds, under 10 seconds. I've timed it before. So it's not slowing down response at all. It's making me a better clinician. It's making me more flight ready and more durable. It's good for me. So that's what I do on my job as well. Very blessed, very blessed. I eat healthy, so I'm cooking on my job, right? I try not to cook anymore out at work. I try to meal prep everything because I've been going on a stretch there where, again, I work out of the hospital, so I'm based out of an airport. We have a grill. But every time I was cooking chicken, I get a flight. And you can't, everybody knows, you can't, stop cooking chicken and then cook chicken. So it'd be just disgusting. But yeah. And then I try to read books, right? Try to work on things. I run our division's wellness, whatever program. So I work on that a lot. And yeah, my time, I try to make everything of my shift day. And then I sit around and complain about things and try to solve all the world's problems. I don't know. But that's my job, right? There's a lot of time preparing at my job. Preparing. It's kind of like my job and ultra running are kind of the same. Because you spend all this time preparing for an event. Like if you think about it, you spend all this time preparing to run 100 miles, right? 3 months of running or building or whatever, and then you run the event. It's like my job. It really is. My job, I got a half-hour flight. I'm usually with the patient no more than 1 hour. But I spent how many years and how much time during the year keeping my skills up, learning, educating myself, this and that, preparing to take care of that patient. It's the same. So maybe that's why I'm drawn to ultra running too. I don't know. Yeah, that's my job in a nutshell. It's a good job. It's a dangerous job. I mean, the helicopters go down. They're not made to fly. Helicopters just beat the shit out of the air. That's all they do. They're not made to fly. And yeah, and you get them bonehead pilots. But now I feel totally safe. I'm blessed. I've had great pilots and great mechanics that I trust. So, but they do go down. And stuff happens. So we'll keep doing it because that's how I support my family, my kids, and my running addiction. That was just a horrible part of the show. But I'm glad. I hope it entertained you a little bit and brought you a little more into light of what I actually do, or a little bit more about the flight world around here, anyways. But here's something I want to talk about too. So I'm running today. I'm going to transition to this. These don't go hand in hand at all. But I wanted to talk about this. I have no notes on this. This is going to be wild. All right. But I was sitting there running this has been bugging me for a little bit, right? A little bit. And y'all know I'm a coach now, right? I've been running ultras on and off and trying to run long. Been doing it pretty good the past 3-4 years since I quit drinking alcohol and really, put the hammer down on running. But I've been running ultras for better part of 10 years now, right? Or trying to. And I got my endurance coach certification. So I went through that program or whatever. And you know what? I said? What's better than that coaching certificate or that program was 10 years of making freaking mistakes. All of them. All the mistakes. I learned from all my mistakes. That and just learning from other people. So anyway, so I'm sitting here thinking because there's just so much content out there. Hey, I make content. I really do. I don't make content to try to be like an influencer though. I generally just want to help people. I generally just want to make people, I want to bring more people into this madness because this has been awesome for me. It's been awesome for me physically, well, for the most part. If I'd stop breaking my damn feet, which one was a freak accident, and number two was probably overuse and maybe some shitty nutrition. But I really do want to bring more people into this madness. It's been an awesome sport for me, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. It really has been. So that's why I do social media. And if I could just get one person into this because of my stupid Instagram reels or TikToks or Facebook posts, that's a victory in my book. It really is. But I want to get a whole mess of people. And I really, 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 really want to see more health, like nurses, paramedics, my EMS people, all my healthcare peeps. I really want to see more of y'all in this. I really do. Because I think it's great for us. Great for us. That's who my target audience is. Dude, you got a bad shift at work. There's nothing is better than 5 miles on the trail then. Literally. You got a shift coming up or what, going into a shift. There's nothing better than 5 miles on the trail before that shift. You have a week off, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing better than 20 miles on the trail out in nature. Nothing better. Nothing better for us. So I'm sitting there. That's why I do social media, by the way. That's who I'm trying to connect with. That's who I'm trying to help. So I'm running today, or the past few days, and just from my 10 years, I've noticed changes in the scene. And I'm kind of a bit of a historian. So I like to read about things and watch things that, when the hell did Hard Rock start, right? What was it like to run the Barkley Marathons back in the 90s when it first started? Blah, blah, blah. That. The Leadville 100, the history of that, all sorts of stuff. And it made me think I don't know. Things are changing, right? Or things are changing a little bit. You know what I mean? Has ultra running changed? Has ultra running changed? I don't know. Maybe a better question is I was sitting there thinking, maybe a better question is, has running lost a little bit of what made it special in the first place? I'm not talking about whether runners are faster or oh, the races are so bigger, I can't get into races. And I'm talking about just the culture in general, the spirit of it, the dirtbag side of ultra running that really made the sport totally attractive to me. And it made it so unique. I don't know. I really wanted to talk about it today. I really did. And I don't know. And what made me think about it is there's so much shit out there. Not shit. There's so much content out there on social media about gear, about gear, carbon plated shoes, running poles, different types of running poles, all sorts of different fuels, your nutrition statuses, everybody's got to get a sweat test and you have to train this way in VO2 max workouts and threshold workouts and this and that and gadgets and your running power and 5 million different kinds of lifts to do because that's what you need to do to run a mountain trail. And it's just okay, none of those things are bad. None of those things are bad. I'm trying not to knock this. But man, are we overthinking this? I really am all for pushing the limits and trying to better yourself. But man, it's to me, some of these races and stuff, it's oh my God, Western States, the guy just ran 13 hours something, 2 of them. It's awesome. Unbelievable. It's so cool. It's probably good for the sport. It really probably is. But I don't know, it's just kind of losing some of its dirtbaggery to me, right? Because back in the day, like when I look at like documentaries and read about like back in the days, dude, people just showed up. They like literally ran all day. Like no coverage really. It was like folklore, right? Dudes had like shitty fanny packs on. They had like handheld freaking flashlights for the night. They were eating like, I mean, there was just like there is not really I don't know how aid stations were, but there wasn't like 5 million things at every one. There wasn't Tailwind, you know. They might have had a bottle of Gatorade on them, like some salt pills, maybe some packs of like gobstoppers and gummy bears and shit like that. No like technical trail shoes and stuff like that. It's using sticks for poles. I don't know, but it looks way different. I mean, it was rough. Mad respect. Mad respect. That's the dirtbag culture. Like in just finishing a 100 miler, I was like, holy crap. You know what I mean? It was like adventure. And it was like a clique. Like this weird community. I mean, it's exploded. I think it's great. I love the sport. I do. But then I like looked down today after thinking about this. I have, a pack on with two 500 mLs, an 800 ml bottle. I have my Precision Fuel, which I love Precision Fuel, not sponsored. You know that? I got my cell phone. Hell, if I'm running tomorrow in the dark, dude, I'm going to have my waist lamp, my headlamp on. If I'm doing a ton of climbing, like when I was training for Uri, I got my nice Lucky poles, my Norda shoes. You know what I mean? People are their their shocks in for their headphones. I'm sitting there on my run today and I'm like, I'm going to hit 90 grams of carbs an hour. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like, I don't know it has changed. It has changed. For the better? I don't know. For the worse? I don't know. It's different though. It's a little different of a vibe. And maybe that's just my perspective too, because I'm digging deep. I'm trying to like my big race is the Mines of Spain every year. And every year I try to take it down. The first year I did it like 25 and a half. Last year I ran it 23 and a half. Now I'm trying to see what the limit is. So I'm doing everything in my power to try to drop it down. So I'm guilty. I don't know. So I'm out there. I'm going to start doing the VO2 max, do the threshold phase, that shit. I'm going to have my nutrition dialed in. It's just, when I think about it, like all the technology, all the stuff that goes into it now, it's the sport to me and I know this, I'm speaking in terms of what I see a lot of, not saying this is generally speaking, right? Ultra running has become incredibly optimized. So don't criticize. There's good things about it. There's really good things about the changes that have occurred. We have way better safety. Way better safety. I mean, headlamps, cell phones, GPS watches. You know what I mean? Way safer. Way better nutrition. I mean, Precision Fuel, right? Cis. Goo. I mean, even if you want to search goo, I hate goo. Ugh. But if Goo wants to sponsor me, go right ahead. Sponsor the show, Goo. Let's go. Anyways, but way better nutrition. Way better nutrition. And we know a lot more about nutrition, right? I mean, you could argue better shoes. There's so many shoes now, right? Light trail, technical trail, road to trail, stability, neutral, max cushion, minimal, better lighting again, better recovery tools, right? You got your foam rollers. I got a pair of them Normatec compressions, right? I mean, there's tons more information out there and education. Way better race organization, right? And yeah, so those are the positives, right? I mean, the sport is probably healthier than it's ever been. But again, have we become too obsessed? Have we become too obsessed with data and metrics and gear and paces? Have, it's we're comparing. It's really hard not to compare ourselves, especially with social media. Again, not knocking any of those mega influencers, the Andy Glazes, the elites that are out there, David Roche and Zach Bitter and all these guys. More do mad props. Highly respect every one of them. It's hard not to compare. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, I started optimizing the adventure again out of the adventure. The social media is the wildest thing. It really is. Social media is wild. You need to follow me though, the Ultra Runner on the Instagram. I don't really care. Because I'm not trying to be an influencer. But like, no, social media does have positives though. It really does. I mean, you can find a lot of inspiration out there on social media from a lot of these people. Like those guys that all just mentioned. Andy Glaze, dude, he's inspiring. He really is. You can find a ton of educational stuff. I did a reel today, like showing how you make a soft flask into a handheld bottle using a what do they call them? A buff. Because I'm not buying them stupid handheld things anymore. The straps always wear out, and then you keep having to tie them. And the last ones, I really like, I forget who makes them, but after like 3 months, you have to pull it down every minute. So I just tie a knot. It's a pain in the ass. I ain't buying it anymore. It's like $40. I have to buy one a year. So I'm just going to use a buff in my soft flask from now on out. And then you can build a community on there. You can keep in touch with people. You can find races. You can highlight races. You can meet new people. That's what it's great for. But again, the negatives, it's hard not to compare yourself. Then you get a lot of pressure, right? The constant content overload. And you literally feel like every run has to be epic. And just a comparison on there, dude, there's so many people running like 100-miler every weekend. That's not normal. It's probably not healthy at all. Unless you are a freak of nature, don't do that. That's stupid. I don't know. So like, can you still be a dirtbag? I started a running group in my community. It's called the Dubuque Dirtbags, the Dubuque Dirtbag Trail Running Club. So if you're in Dubuque and you're listening to this, join the club because I'm trying to start a community here in Dubuque. There was no like running group in my area. And even the road running group is just, I mean, I'm sorry to say it, but it's non-existent. It's non-existent. They're not consistent. They put on like 2 races a year. I'm sorry. I'm going to call you out. The group just sucks. It does. They don't do any like group runs. There's no meetups. It's just, they put on a few races a year and then they expect people just to go and support it and to pay dues. And it's just like, nah, like I'm trying to start like really a legit trail running club. Like I'm not making any money off it. I don't want to make any money off it. I don't want to charge anybody. It's just going to be like a page, a Facebook created group, whatever. And we're going to post runs like at least 2 a week and meet up. And then what I really want from it is to be like, I want to go run, but I don't know where to start. Come start with me, bro. I'll run whatever pace, whatever distance, whatever. I'll loop back around. That's what I want. I want to bring more people into the trail community. I want to build a better community around the Dubuque area. It's called the Dubuque Dirtbags. I'm calling it the Double Ds because I love Double D. No, because I'm hilarious. That's why. But no, it's the Double Ds. So if you're in Dubuque, join it. And if you're running through Dubuque, go message me, whatever, follow our page on Facebook, and come run with us on your way through. But anyways, I love that. I love the word dirtbag. So can you still be one? Oh yeah, still out there. You don't need your Phoenix Garmin watch, right? You don't need like the $300 shoes. You don't need perfect gear. You don't need a training plan or whatever. You can just go run on a trail, dude. Because all you need to be all you need to be a dirtbag, in my opinion, is just curiosity, adventure, trails, and the willingness to suffer. Still, all that's still free. And some of the things I wrote down a few things. Some of the things that I hope never change with ultra running. Number one, the volunteers and aid stations. I hope that never changes because it's great. Number two is the community. It's still a great community. It's an awesome community. I can't tell you how many great people I've met doing this absurd shit. It is absurd. Number four, or was that three? Whatever. Helping strangers. Most of these races that I take part in, I know the Mines of Spain does. They contribute back a good chunk of the proceeds back to the park that they put the race on, the Mines of Spain, and the community. I know Josh Son kicks back like thousands of dollars to like food banks or shelters or whatever every year from his race. So helping strangers. Number five is the golden hour. Waiting around for that last finisher, right? 6 is the shared suffering. It's funny, dude. I love it when you get around that, like that mile 50, 60, you bump into people and you're like, man, this sucks. The shared suffering, right? The stories after the races, right? The finish line hugs, the campfires, you know what I mean? That's the soul. That's the dirt baggery. I don't know. So I generally like that. Those are just random thoughts. I'm not griping about it. I don't think that ultra running's lost its soul. I don't think it's headed in the wrong direction. I think it's louder than what it used to be. I think the algorithms are big. They're vast for ultra running, right? The brands are bigger, more prominent. There's the gear is just exploding. The markets are exploding. There's more and more influencers out there saying to run long. We're running even longer. But if you strip all of that, what I just said away, and you're at that trailhead at 6 a.m, or you're on that ascent at 2 a.m., the sport's still there, baby. It really is. You got people laughing, people crying, people helping each other. They're sharing snacks, right? Oh, you're out of fuel? Don't worry, I got you, man, right? They're getting lost together, getting lost by yourself. It's all still there. It really is. It's all still there, man. I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to complain about it. I'm not trying to say that sport's going in the wrong direction. Those are just my thoughts, right? I don't know. I'm going to stop rambling. This is a super long episode. Holy crap. I rambled on a long, no valuable information whatsoever. None at all. Anyways, I'll try to make a better podcast coming up here in a second. But no, seriously, I appreciate everybody tuning in to listen. Hey, man, I need a guest on soon. I want to talk to y'all, especially if you work in healthcare and rip miles or want to try to start ripping miles. Get a hold of me. I'm really looking for guests. And, yeah, but thank you. I appreciate every one of you tuning into this, whether it be on your drive home or on your unit. Just make sure you're not taking care of patients, right? Or mowing their grass or on the run. I greatly appreciate it. Hey, subscribe to the show on Spotify so you don't miss an episode. Go follow me on Instagram. It is The Ultra Nurse, and I'm on TikTok. I got a YouTube channel too that I rarely post on, and I got a personal Facebook page that I post on as well. And if you're interested in being coached by yours truly, I kind of know what I'm doing. I made a shit ton of mistakes, and I will try to help you achieve your goals and not make the same mistakes I did. And yeah, get you to your finish line, especially if you are a healthcare professional or an EMS personnel. I know you because I am you. And anyways, visit theultranurse.com. There's a coaching page on there. Sign up for a free consult. I got you. And yeah, thank you all for listening. Go ahead and like all that stuff. I appreciate all the love and support. You guys are all awesome. And stay safe. Go rip some miles. Love y'all.